Don't deny the fact that you spend more time playing minigames than making actual progress in the main quest. Fellow friends, a very warm hello and welcome. Tonight we'll be talking about how fear and courage led me through my very first Legend of Zelda game during my childhood. I'm of course talking about Ocarina of Time, and it's certainly one of the most covered games on YouTube, yet I would still like to share my story with the game. Thank you for joining this video, and let's begin our journey through the Kingdom of Hyrule. We can assume that everybody knows the story of Ocarina of Time, but if you really want to have a quick summary of the plot, well, basically your main goal is to save the Kingdom of Hyrule from a villain called Ganondorf, who wants to conquer it of course, but instead you waste your time fishing at Lake Hylia and doing repetitive but fun minigames. And yes Link, Ganon looks terrible in 480p. And I think everybody was guilty of that, especially if you were a child when you first played this game. It was truly an amazing game, it felt like a real adventure and the whole world was on your side. But it also had some dark elements that completely scared me as a child. Like these Redads, never been a fan of them. Oh my goodness, let's get away. But yeah, the first time I played this game was, I think it must have been 2001-ish. Around that time, and I do like some part like Hyrule Castle, sneaking into it. And by the way, speedrunning tactics, well, this actually feels slower. Let's walk normally. But yeah, I enjoyed the game very much, and we're on our way to Kakariko Village here, to a place that simply just terrified me back then. And here we are, Kakariko Village. Let's head to the place. The sun is setting now at the moment, I can see. Or is it just... No, it's really setting. Yeah, sometimes you don't know with these graphics, you know. Oh, and by the way, small detour. I have to do this. The shooting gallery! Oi mate, yes please. Alright. Good. Perfect. Good. Yes. Yes. Going good, going good. Nice! Nice! One try! One try! Woo! Oh wow! Well, the last time I did it, I just received money. I never got this. I remember that you could only get money. Oh wow! All right, nice. Okay, let's head on to the Forsaken Place. And yes, you probably know where I'm going now. The Forsaken Place of the Graveyard. Man, that place was so scary as a child. Now it's okay. Now it's definitely okay. The Graveyard. And if I'm correct, there might be a Poe here somewhere. Yes. Yes. 2 shots. Ignore it. But yeah, this was the most cursed place ever. I never dared to jump inside, but we're doing it now. This place, the royal family's tomb, was... Oh man. I never wanted to be here as a child. It was too scary for me to be here. But I had to get the Sun Song. So... basically, my tactic was run through it. Oh, shite. Ignore all these creeps, Redads. Ah. Run, 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 run. Speedrunning tactics. And get the song here. Oh. Back then, this was such an achievement. But now, it's all okay. I can do it. And this wasn't the only part that scared me off back then. The big post wandering around Hyrule Field decided for me that traveling during the night was a no-go. Also, this p-head prevented me from cutting corners. Yeah, I was just progressing through the game when I had the courage to. Usually after a good amount of time I spent at the Bomb Tube bowling alley. It went well for the first 3 dungeons, but then came the temple that halted my adventure. I'm talking about the Forest Temple. Finding the Forest Temple was already a big achievement for me, but when I entered this forsaken place and heard the music, I instantly had this eerie feeling to it, and to make things worse, when you enter the central room of the dungeon you saw 4 posts walking off into different directions. Take that into account, plus the fact that I didn't know what to do, made me abandon this game. I did a fair amount of tries before I gave up though. Back then there were no tutorial videos on the internet. Heck, YouTube didn't even existed yet, nor were there websites with detailed maps and pictures that would tell you exactly how to advance further. So your only resort was help from friends who played the game, or plain texted walkthroughs on the website of GameFAQs.com. Let's have a look at one of these guides. I'm here on the website of GameFAQs.com, and these are all guides for Ocarina of Time. And I'll be looking at the one made by Bob the Monkey in October 99. And this is what it looks like. Nice visuals on the first page. But the whole document is just plain text. And this was your only resort in figuring out the game whenever you got stuck somewhere. And let's have a look at the Forest Temple section. Yes, got it. So as you can see, no visuals, no maps, no images, just plain text. So there was often times that you got confused when, like the guide said, head into this room and head into the water on your left side. And you enter that room and there's no water at all. And then you just blamed yourself for making a mistake and you start backtracking to see if you can find the correct room. And also another issue was that this was on the computer, and you couldn't take this to your television. So you will print out this document, or only the section that you needed, because the whole document is 132 pages long, and you're never going to print that. Even today, you won't do that. I used the guide successfully for various N64 and GameCube games. But I had to give up at the Forest Temple. It was just simply too hard for me as a child to follow all these instructions that were written down, and as time passed, I simply moved on to other games. When the remaster of Ocarina of Time for the 3DS came out, I had this urgent feeling to finish this game. It bugged me that I could never finish it as a child, and now was my chance. Picked the game around in 2012 and I was still very hesitant when I've reached the graveyard in Kakariko Village. The memories from back then were so strong that I didn't dare to jump down the graveyard to get the Sun's Song. But I said, yeah, you're now 18, come on, you cannot turn back now. So I decided to play some more minigames again, yay! But in the end I jumped down, and then when I was fighting these readers I thought to myself, well, this isn't as bad as I remembered it. It's okay, they are not as scary as I thought. So from there on out I could just breeze through the game and take on Ganondorf at Hyrule Castle for the very first time in Ocarina of Time. And that moment when I beat Ganondorf was just so satisfying, as if I had broken a curse and could finally close off this childhood chapter of mine. But not before one last minigame! And this concludes my little story of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. There may be many games you've played long ago that you could never finish back then, but if you ever have the chance to pick it up again, I highly encourage you to do so, because you won't regret it. Thank you for watching and coming along on this childhood journey of mine. Take care, and we will see each other in the next video.